Hey, Warrior Saints, glad to have you beautiful people in with us today as we continue our discussion. Father Chris has been talking about marriage this week. First, he talked about wives submitting to their husbands and how people sometimes get a little bit uncomfortable with that. We don't like that idea in our modern ears, and we think that St. Paul's talking to us, telling us that in modern day 2025, wives have to submit, and that goes against everything that women fought for in the 70s and 80s and women's lib and all of that stuff. Get that stuff out of your head. That's not what's being talked about. Because as we heard yesterday, the continuation of that story is that husbands need to die. And husbands need to give themselves up for their wives as Christ gave himself up for the church. Husbands need to love their wives so much that they are willing to die for her. And let's be real. This is what we all are supposed to do. This is precisely what we talk about when we talk about crucifixional living. It's just, how do you apply crucifixional living into marriage? It's called crucifixional marriage, but it's not crucifixional marriage in that we're trying to shove crucifixional living on top of marriage. Rather, what's really happening is that marriage becomes the opportunity through which we learn how to live crucifixionally. Marriage gives us the chance to learn how to live that life because we're all supposed to live that life that is crucifixional. And marriage just becomes the way that we do it. And St. Paul even ends that Ephesians chapter 5 text with the following, starting in verse 33. For this reason, or you might hear, for this cause, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. This mystery is a profound one, and I am saying that it refers to Christ and the church. However, let each one of you love his wife as himself, and let the wife see that she respects her husband. The mystery that is Christ and the church is Christ giving himself up for the church. And the church becomes the place that we learn how to live communally. And the modus operandi of living communally and living with one another and living for one another is crucifixional living. So for our marriages to become crucifixional means that they become the opportunity for us to learn how to live that life that is crucifixional living. To learn how to get rid of the junk that is here that keeps us from doing God's will. And the way that we do that, the way that it all happens within marriage, we hear in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 21. Be subject to one another out of reverence for Christ. This putting ourselves in submission to someone else. This putting ourselves lovingly, being willing to die to ourselves in submission to the other, is how we live that life that is crucifixional living. That is how our marriages become the place where we learn how to do it, how to get out there and make it happen, Captain. Now, if you want to do this in your life, and you want to make this happen for you in your life, and you want to take your marriage and you want to transform it so that marriage becomes transformative and crucifixional and a way for you to learn how to live the life that you are supposed to live, the life that is designed following God's commandments, then you need to visit us at warriorsaints.org. You need to get the combo. You need not just UTB, you need not just the battle plan. You need it all. You need to put it together, because then what do you got? Bippity boppity boo. I'm sorry, my daughter's on a Cinderella kick right now. But for you to get out there and make these changes in your life today, visit us at warriorsaints.org. That's the way that you are going to find how to have your marriage become not just good, not just great, a place that it can become crucifixional and you can become crucifixional. We'll be back tomorrow, and as always, until we see you then, keep walking on the way of the warrior saint.